Hello everyone, welcome back. So I want to share with you guys what's going on today. The next project that I'm going to be working on, which is basically just rearranging optics on uppers. Okay, so for the last few months, I've had this primary arms 1 to 8 PLX. Okay, that's a $1,500 scope. I've had it on this palmetto upper. Okay, so this is a 16 inch, and I just wanted to get a feel for how this scope is gonna feel, one-handed, being on a 16 inch, on a rifle with a 16-inch barrel. Uh, Prior to that, it was on this 18 inch. Okay, so this is the Ruger MPR. This has an 18-inch barrel. I had it on there for a while. With the 18-inch barrel with the Picatinny rail going all the way across the top, it is a bit front heavy. So I said, hey, let's try on this 16-inch. Okay, so it was pretty good. The thing that I've ran into, right, anytime I'm shooting a 16-inch, usually I'm shooting it like inside 200 yards, and like for the most part, right, if I'm going to be shooting at this distance, I really don't want an LPVO. I mean, even in 1X, I mean, a red dot, especially like a big window one like this, is always going to be better. So what I found as on the practical side, I really didn't want to do much close quarter work with the LPVO. Okay, I much prefer shooting at further distances. So it kind of makes sense if I've got an 18-inch barrel that it should be on the 18-inch barrel. However, it's not going back on this Ruger MPR upper. It's going to go on this Palmetto 223 Wild, which is also 18 inches. So both of these are 18 inches. This one's 223 Wild stainless steel. So the nice thing about this Palmetto is that it's got the hybrid rail, so that it's actually, the rail itself ends up being a little bit lighter. It's not, aside from it not having the Picatinny here, it's also a little bit thinner. So even though it's 18 inches, it's a little less front heavy, and it really stood out the most when I had my primary arms 1 to 10. Which is even bigger than this 1 to 8. And initially, I tried the 1 to 10 on the Ruger MPR, and it was just like it was just horrible. Like it was like noticeably, annoyingly heavy. But when I put it on the Palmetto 223 Wild with the lighter rail, you know what? It just the rail being just a little bit lighter made it a little bit more comfortable to move around. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, that 1 to 10 ended up going on my 16-inch AR-10. Okay, so the 1 to 10 found the home. I'm happy with it on my 16-inch AR-10. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this 1 to 8. That's going to go on the 18-inch Palmetto with the stainless steel 18-inch barrel. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I have here this Holosun ACSS reticle. I have it on a 300 blackout, right? So this has a built-in bullet drop compensator into the reticle. So I started doing some work with 300 blackout this year, and I've come around to realizing that like 300 blackout kind of like really sucks. Like it has less power than the 7.62x3.9. It's not any more accurate. Like I'll get like 1.5 inch group with both, with steel case. I'll get 1.5 inch at 100 yards with Red Army Standard, steel case Red Army Standard. And I tried 2 different brands. I tried Federal, I tried Freedom Munitions. So I'll get about 1.5 inches with the 300 blackout. So given the 300 blackout is more expensive, it really doesn't make sense to really get invested in 300 blackout. So, I have another 16-inch, and I've got this one's an 18-inch here. I had it on here because I was trying to shoot at distance using the bullet drop compensator, but it's just not it's really not working out the way I thought it would be. I'm just going to put a regular red dot on here, a circle dot. So I'm going to take this circle dot, right? That's the Holosun multi-reticle. I'm going to put that on here, right? And then I'm going to take the Holosun ACSS, and that's going to go on the Ruger, okay? Because remember, that's the one with the heavier rail. So I'm going to put the ACSS here, and then I'm going to put the magnifier behind that, and that's going to be a good place for this 18-inch barrel to be, I think. Okay, and then what I'm going to probably do is I'm not even sure if I want to use this big window optic on this 8-inch. Probably going to find something else and put it on here. Probably something lighter. So this is a lower that I have with a binary trigger. So this one kind of like swaps around, and it kind of moves around. The same thing with like this upper and this upper. They don't have their own dedicated. Like right now, these two over here are sharing this Ruger MPR lower. For a while, I had it on a palmetto lower with a 2-stage trigger, and then I've got a couple of braced lowers that also share a bunch of different uppers. So anyway, that's today's project. I just wanted to give you that update. It's like took me a couple of months to get around to figuring out what I want to do with these 18-inch uppers here. You know, because one of the things I found that, like, yeah, you know, the 18-inch barrel, it is you know, you can definitely feel that weight as, like I say, I'm moving around the woods, moving to different positions. So it really, like if I'm going to use an 18-inch barrel, it's pretty much going to be a dedicated distance shooter. So it kind of makes sense that the 18-inch barrels are going to have either an LPVO on it or an optic that has, like this Holosun ACSS, that's the 503G, that has a built-in bullet drop compensator. So I can shoot at, like, basically I want to, if I got an 18-inch barrel, I'm going to be shooting like 300 to 600 yards. That's my mindset for an 18-inch barrel. Anything inside of 300 yards, I think I'd rather be using a 16-inch.